Hello everyone, it's Christine here, or should I say bonjour. Now, all of this will be revealed in due course, but first of all, I want to talk about some lovely products that I've received in the mail from two lovely ladies in the US. So the lovely ladies are Chris and Teresa, who are the founders of Nome Schoolhouse. So, and I'll show you a few web pages in a moment. I've got my iPad ready to show you a few things, but that's a fibre arts school and retreat. And they also produce their own wools and wool products and wool felting supplies, as well as having this school and this retreat. And they've been creating amazing felting kits and all sorts of things. And they were looking for some people through their YouTube channel, which is YouTube, EWE, play on the word of the U, and then tube. And I'll link it in the description below so you can find them. They do great videos sharing the farm, sharing their products. They're just a lot of fun, the two of them. They really bounce off each other. And they were looking for some people to trial their new crewel wools, including variegated. They had me at variegated Martha. My good friend Martha loves the variegation as well. And so I reached out to them and said, "Oh, I'm sure you probably can't send it to Australia, but I would love to try your products." And they said, "No, we're happy to send it." And so, yep, envelope arrived in the post. And I've just been, dying to get stuck in and show you. So the types of wool that I've got here are Romney dyed, which are the green and the red ones. Hopefully you can see okay. It is nighttime here, so I'm hoping the lights are doing what they need to do. And then the Lincoln, which is a white. So I do have some pictures of the different breeds because I think it's nice to know. So the Lincoln is the white, and we can make that's there, the Lincolns apparently. So they look like very nice sheep. It says Lincoln Australian Rare Breed Sheep Project, so we obviously have them as well, and they are a rare breed. And then the Romney are the ones that have been used for the dyed wool. And there's some pictures of some Romney. So again, another rare breed by the looks of it. And then we've got the Nome Schoolhouse. So this has been around a very long time, the schoolhouse itself, but Chris and Teresa brought it back essentially from the brink. And they each had their own businesses. One of them was Bear Creek Felting. That was Teresa. And then we had Chris, who was also Dakota Spun with her own wools and yarns. And so they joined up to create Shepherd Industries, and they bought the Nome Schoolhouse in 2018 and spent 3 years turning it into a one-stop shop for all things wool. So it looks like they've got fabulous courses. Obviously, I can't go because I'm not in the United States, and I am aware from chats with my US friends it is quite a distance to travel from places. I was, Martha, having a look if it was close to you, but it is quite a distance from you. Looks like their courses are very popular. They do needle felting, make a tote basket, quite a few of those, wet felting hats. I would love to learn about wet felting. Wet felting hats, weaving. This looks great. Dyeing fibre, core class weekend. Spinning on a wheel, 3D wet felting, right up my alley. Clay even. So all sorts of wonderful things. So if you're in the US and you're anywhere near Nome, look it up and have a look. So that's under nomeschoolhouse.com. And then they also have all sorts of supplies, so needle felting supplies, but also wools. And the way I heard about them originally was when I was buying my needle felting tools from Snowy Creek Engineering, the little, the husband and wife team that had created these products and that I stumbled across when I was up in Alpine, Victoria, and found that this product had been founded just down the road from where we were staying. They were the ones that mentioned, oh, you've got to look up Bear Creek felting. And they actually use the felting needle holders that I got from, Snowy Creek Engineering. So half a world away, connected. And then how amazing now that I've made a connection with Teresa and Chris. And now I'm actually holding in my hands their products and going to get to give them a go. And I do see their products in my future because they they feel beautiful. And I'm just really excited to take them for a whirl. And I've had sitting in my drawer to do this beautiful panel from Moda French General. It's a French inspired panel with lots of fun stitching on it. And I've just cut out one of the panels, which has bonjour. And I thought these flowers and leaves would be perfect to stitch around. I'll work out what I do with the cream. I was thinking I could use it for the bonjour and then maybe whip it over afterwards. And I'm thinking I might also use some beads after I've done the initial work. But I thought we'll have a play in this video and you can see how the wools actually work. And that was part of my commitment to Chris and Teresa, is to take the wools for a spin and provide some feedback. And I thought, what better way to do it than to do it in a video? I'm not being paid for this. They, out of the kindness of their hearts, have shared some of their samples to try, and I am very happy to show you what it's like. No pressure, no obligation. You'll get my real and genuine opinion. So let's start with the red. I think I want to do the flower up here. And I've just got this backed with a little bit of Pellon Shape Flex iron-on woven cotton interfacing, because the French General panels can be a little bit frayy. So I've mounted it on that, so ironed that on. And then I've put it in my box frame that I got from the lovely Fleur Woods at the Fleur Woods workshop or retreat that I attended. I'm always pretty hopeless at working out how to undo these wools. I think I've got it figured. Maybe. We shall see. I think I need to unhook that. And then I've got another one actually hanging up on my stand. So yeah, I'll hang this one up and just try and take it off like that. Because I think if I leave them on my table, they're rife to get tangled. Now we just need to unwind this bit. It's sort of wrapped around. What's going on here? No, we're still wrapped around something. Maybe I do need to unhook it for a moment. That's what we've got to do. We've got to take this end through, and then I think we're right. I think that's enough anyway to work with, because really when we're working with wools, we should just be working with a length from about your tips to your elbow. So that's actually probably 2 lengths. So I will cut it in half. And I'm going to use my chenille needle. I've cracked out a new one because it's a special evening, a Sue Daily. And let's take it for a spin. And I've been really wanting to stitch into these panels since I got them. And I'm planning this year to do some more work on my treasure hunt piece for Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, where I'm working on that amazing blanket that travelled out with my partner's mum after the war. And now I've decided, rather than just covering half of it and then having it over the back of the couch, I want to turn it into a full quilt style blanket, and I have a special plan for it. So let's start over here. Just put a knot in the back of the wool. And I think I'll just do a split stitch because I find that gives a nice finish to the piece, a nice sort of continuous. Hopefully I'm close enough for you. I don't want to go too close and then be banging the camera or going off camera. So with the split stitch, I'm just popping up about sort of halfway up. And rather than doing a full-on thread painting and painting the entire leaf, I think I'll just do the outlines and where it's got the lines in the middle. And then I can always come back maybe with a lighter colour or something and paint it in. But I think I'd like to kind of do it just in the design that the panel has. But yeah, so far it's stitching beautifully. It's not catching, it's not knotting. But yeah, I think that tip of not going too long with your wools is a very good tip to follow. It's got a nice, yeah, really lovely twist to it. Beautiful colour. Don't know how well it's showing. As I say, apologies that it's night time. That's just the time that that's the time I get to film, because during the days I've got to earn a living, Christine. Maybe I'm learning things too. Hopefully I'm learning. I think if I stopped learning, then that might be the time to move on to something else. But yeah, Chris and Teresa, they are a powerhouse of energy. They've just been at a sort of international trade show, or sort of, for people that might want to buy their products en masse. So not like a retail show, but a trade show. And they've been sharing little videos, which you can see on their YouTube, around the trade show. I just love getting that little inside look at another world. But I'm definitely going to be scoping out their website. I'll have to see how or maybe have to ask them how their postage prices are to Australia. But they do have some lovely, lovely little felting kits, and yeah, really excited to also just try other fibres. As you know, I've become a bit of a fibre aficionado. Now my little wrap there has come off, but I'm just going to hold on to the fabric. These plastic bits are incredibly difficult to get off, so I'm not sure if I try and get it off, whether I'll be able to actually get it off. Fleur did say they get less tight over time, but they're a bit of a... There we go. Back to normal. Now, how did I have my needle? You know when you stop and you sort of go, how was I holding it? See, it keeps trying to slip around. It's been a bit of a bit trying, that one. But yeah, I think it was good putting the backing on this panel. It just gives it a bit more stability. I could have put wool, like my wool blanket on the back, but I didn't really want other fibres getting stuck in this wool. I just wanted to give you the pure wool a look. So let me know if anyone's tried any goodies from Bear Creek or from Shepherd Industries, or if anyone's attended the Nome Schoolhouse. It looks so much fun. You know, I'm all into my retreats after attending the Flare one. It was just such a gift to myself. I know not everyone can do it, and maybe you can only sort of enjoy things online or something, but yeah, it was just such a wonderful thing to be in a room amongst other kindred spirits of creativity. I didn't know how much I actually needed it until I was there. And yeah, when they opened up places for next year with Fleur, I jumped at the chance. And I can't believe this year is, I've heard others saying it as well, this year is rushing by. The fact that we're already into May and almost coming up to the middle of the year is just nutso. Nutso. Let me just do a little shorter jump around there. It's hard at the corners to do the sort of the split stitch because you've got to go around the corner. sitting up beautifully off the piece as well. It's giving a really nice, dimensional outline rather than just using, for example, an embroidery thread. And if I didn't want to use beads for the middle, like I was thinking I could even do French knots using this. I might even give that a go. We shall see. I've actually got to come back around and do that one there and do the little dashes. So I'll do that on the second pass. I got myself into a little flow and didn't even notice those as I went by. Oops, just working out where I need to bring my needle up. Must admit, I love that sound of thread passing through fabric. Oops. A bit hard when you're near the edge, near the plastic border. It just makes it that a little bit trickier. Sometimes at the corner like this, I'll actually come back a bit further down and then bring my stitch up to meet the other one. And then I'll start the split stitches again. This is usually how, even if I'm going to do a fully thread painted piece, I'll usually start with a split stitch as my outlining stitch because it gives a really good border to then be filling in and painting into with your thread. So I think Chris and Teresa have almost they had finished their lambing season. It's amazing. I don't think I could be a farmer. I was watching also Jeremy Clarkson and watching his, I think, is it season 3, and the whole lambing and pigs and animals, and it's just a bit heartbreaking at times. But I suppose it's it's like most jobs. There might be aspects that you find challenging, but you've got to just find a way to work through it. But I love about Chris and Teresa. They really care about their animal welfare, and they care about ethically produced, and also about they producing things locally. So knowing the origin and sourcing things from their known areas. So I like that. So it's been a lovely year actually discovering various fibre producers here in Australia, where I got my lovely fibres from, but then also discovering through Annie Claxton the makers for felting, and then discovering through the needle felting tools I got, discovering Teresa and Chris. So I just think it's, just wonderful. There's people making their livelihoods out of it. And, that gives you a few alternatives across Australia, UK, US. And let me know in the comments if you've also got, good local fibre supplies if you're not in those places. Or what are your exotic or rare breeds that you have where you are of sheep? I've got so much to learn about sheep, I think. I kind of used to just look at wool and think, oh, wool. Now I'm looking at wool and all different fibres and thinking, oh, isn't that fascinating? And the whole dyeing side of it, that really, really interests and fascinates me. So I would definitely love, if I was in the US, I'd be working out a way that I could get along to the Nome Schoolhouse. I just love that they saved a building that otherwise might have been lost, and restored it for 3 years, and had the vision to join up their two passions and to start a fibre arts school. I wonder, I might just pop up here and do this one for now. Sorry, I've just gone totally quiet because I just got so relaxed and thoughtful in the process of creating. How funny is that? I'm sure we all do it. We just kind of lose ourselves in the stitching. But I think that's a testament. If you're using a good product that you're not kind of struggling with, you can really get lost in the moment of stitching. Definitely also with this stitching, I think a frame does help, whether it's a hoop or some sort of structure, just to hold your fabric nice and taut so that you can get those really nice clean stitches, and you also avoid getting that sort of puckering that otherwise might happen. Oops, just trying to get my needle to come up where I want it. I'll do these two little upright strokes. Now, if you don't have a panel like this, you can absolutely just find a design online that you want to copy, and you can print it out or trace it off the screen if you don't have a printer. But if you print it out, you can put it up against a window and then trace it onto a light coloured fabric and then use that as your base. So you don't have to buy a pre-printed panel. It's just that I had this one eagerly awaiting me in the drawer, and I thought this is the perfect opportunity. As I was thinking today about, what am I going to work on tonight, and what can I use to try out these beautiful wools. I was going to do them on a fabric where I could sort of paint into the fabric, but I thought this would give you a cleaner look at them without the fabric sort of distracting from it. I'll have to work out how I want to use the white, whether I use it even for maybe the stamens in the centre. Not sure. Decisions. Bring that out to a little point. Okay. I'll do this little one down here. Do that, I think, as a long stitch, the little ones in the centres. And then I'll transit over to this one that I missed. I think I'm almost going to have enough wool to get around. We shall see. It's not the end of the world. If I don't, I'll just continue using it, tie it off and continue using it on the next one. If I have to rethread. And then we can move on to the leaves. yeah, I might need to use a thinner yarn for the little stamens at the centre possibly, I'm not sure. But maybe we can use the white to outline the circle. And then I'll just pop up here and finish off this stamen, not stamen, this little petal detail. Good-o. I am pretty happy with that, I think. So there you go. That's what that looks like. As you know, my back sides of my piece are never totally not a perfect embroiderer's backside, as we might say, but does the job. Keep that little piece. Okay, let's trial out. Let's trial or let's try out. Can I? With the other one I say, yep, you just pull it and it comes. That's a tricky little knot they've done there. Don't know what that knot is. That just comes out as you give it a little pull. So now I won't cut this too long. Hang that up as well. And isn't this lovely? It's got, I can already see the variegation in it. I can actually see the variegation around this one as well. And what I love is even when I'm using the end bits, it's still very nice to use if only I can get a proper threading. The chenille needles are good because they do have a bigger eye. It's just the wool can be just that little bit extra tricky at times to thread. Sometimes it helps to actually fold it over, even though that sounds like it would be harder. Sometimes it actually is that little bit easier to get it through. Works. Some wools will actually knot when you're trying to do the knot and pass it down it, but that one, this wool didn't do that, which was great. Okay, so I'm going to, again, I think I'll just use my split stitch, and let's head on down and do some leaves, and we can see how the variegation plays out. Just make sure I haven't got a knot. Nope. Sometimes I just wonder if I've got a knot, but no, it's all good at the back. It's funny, the needle tells me where it wants to go. It wants to go down and do this low leaf first. In my brain I thought I was going to do the upper leaf, but no, I decided it was going down here. So this would be a great sort of project when you just want to, yeah, just do some very relaxing stitching and don't want to have to think too much. You're just really following lines. So if you are looking for a design online, just look for a sort of simple line drawing one that you can ideally kind of, yeah, stitch around without having to jump around too much. Because here I'll be able to go around the leaf and then continue down the next leaf. I'm glad I actually make these videos because it means that I can always look back to what the panel looked like at the start, and then I can see it as it progresses. We haven't done that many day trips recently, I guess because it is coming into the less awesome weather, and I have been kind of busy on the weekends at my place. But normally I'd take something like this in the car. It would be the perfect cast stitching. I'm lucky I don't get car sick, so definitely helps. Don't know if you could hear my belly. It was just making we've had dinner. I don't know why it's talking to me. Oops. I think a bit of what's happened here. I think a bit of the backing stuff has come through, possibly. Not the wool's fault at all. Felt. Puns. Felting and faulting and all sorts of things. I better actually do this lower bit before I make my way up. So I'll just do the middle of the leaf also. Speaking of getting sort of too relaxed and forgetting bits. Quite dark in this section of the wool. Beautiful, rich dark green. It's nice having the variegation. It does give you that real sense of a leaf where the light's sort of catching it differently, or the leaf itself has different colour rather than just a flat colour. That's why I think, yeah, those of us that love the variegation, yeah, it really helps in our stitching. I'm sure Martha, my variegation anonymous friend, we call ourselves Variegation Anonymous because we're both addicted to variegated threads. I'm sure she's looking at this thinking, oh, that's lovely too. But she also, recently shared with me some of her hand-spun wool. So she's got such a talent as well. I've had so many, Martha, I hope you read the comments because there were so many folks saying, yeah, how impressive your wools are as well. But I don't think, Martha's been spinning for a while. I think these were part of her amazing stocks in her basement where she goes shopping her stash. I must admit I do that too. I've been looking at a few various fabric supplies and other haberdashery supplies pop up on my Facebook or my Instagram, and I keep telling myself, no, Christine, you have enough. Felting supplies and fibre arts, I reckon I think I can still keep an eye out for some different fibres, different sheep. But on the fabric front, I think I've got a pretty decent supply. So I hope you've got your project out, a stitching project, a fibre art project, a felting project, embroidery project, something you're working on, or maybe you're just having a bit of relaxing downtime, nice cup of tea, a cat or a dog resting with you, or maybe you're just having some lovely quiet time with a bit of stitching company. As you know, I always like to have my stitchy and creative friends on when I'm in the craft room. If I'm not recording, there is always my little iPad in front of me with someone sharing their creativity. I just feel so blessed for the connections that I've made with folks. And just I'm absolutely stunned when Chris and Teresa said, we're happy to send it to Australia. I just thought, how kind that I thought maybe it would just be only US folks that they were willing to send out to, but how kind to actually be willing to, yeah, to share their wares. Because it is nice to see how something works before you take the plunge and, yeah, get a big sort of shipment of things, because often that's the way you kind of have to do it. If you're paying shipping costs, it's not really effective to do it just for one skein of yarn. You might need to kind of stock up on a few things. So it's good to dip your toes into the water. But I will only ever tell you what I really think about a product, and in this way I'm just showing you what the product's like. You can make up your own mind on it. But yeah, even where it's the end of the roll or the skein where I've cut it off and you'd expect it to be a bit more raggedy, it's stitching really nicely. And so I'm going to just come back and work my way down the centre. I think Alex has just turned the heating on, so hopefully that's not going to give us a gushing sound on the video. You must be cold downstairs, I guess. I'm lucky my craft room, which is also my office, gets the afternoon sunshine, so it actually got really warm today, even though it was a coolish day outside. Actually, I better do this little bit of the leaf down here first before we head down the stem. Do this next little bit down here. And then after this, I think we can try out some of the white, and I think I will do it around the outside of the bonjour, and then I can always do a whipping with another thread if it's sort of blending in too much. But the white or off-white, the cream, might be a good contrast for the canvas, which is more of a natural, almost sort of, it's got a bit of a grey brown in it. I can't even kind of describe the colour that the base canvas is. I guess it's a linen sort of, yeah, I think it was called a linen canvas, so it's made to look like linen. I mean, I guess it is a linen fabric as well, but made to look like that sort of rustic linen. So there's those leaves. Still got a little bit left. Wonder if I can jump on over here. Is that going to be too far across? I think that should be okay. I think we can do that. It's just a shame not to kind of to cut that wool off, because it's probably not the length that you would use again, so I may as well jump across and use it here. Because it is the end, it's just not got as much of the sort of the twist in it, but I don't think that'll be a problem. It's just that little bit fluffier than the other stuff was, but I don't mind if my leaf has a slightly less distinct outline. Again, I think it all adds to the nature effect. But yes, I hope the air blowing down isn't interfering with the sound. If it is, unfortunately I can't help it, because if I go and yell out to Alex, I'm going to have to stop the video, and yeah, I just generally prefer to make videos that are just in the flow, that I don't have to edit afterwards. You get to see the whole thing. Oops. Did that stitch a little bit bodgy, but no one knows that that wasn't the intended way. I wanted that leaf to have a little sticky out bit. Only you, and you won't tell anyone, will you? Intentionally unintentional, that's what we'll call it. It's just a design feature. vein in. I can't even tell if this was on the design. One more little bit of the leaf, and then we have perfectly, how well did I measure those lengths? I know that's against the rules jumping across that far, but hey, what are rules if they're not meant to be a little bit broken? So that's our beautiful leaves, and then let's grab some of this lovely, reminding myself, the Lincoln White, 96 yards. See, if it's not in meters or centimeters, I really struggle, but I know for many of you, you will know exactly what 96 yards is like. Doesn't that look lovely? Isn't that so beautiful? Now, is it again going to let me do the little trick of giving it a little... How did do these knots that they come undone? See, when I do a knot, it's knotted, badly knotted. But no, their knots are clever knots. Apart from me, who tends to... Do I need to take this off? Maybe I'll take that off. Take the label off. I'll keep that as a little souvenir. That's my yards. Lincoln. Oh, it's got the label on it, so I will need to put that back on. Or keep them in their bag so I remember their origins. But I think I'll be using these with excitement. That's a lovely amount of... I might even try doing some of my own variegated dyeing on this wool with my ink tints, because you know I'm having lots of fun with my ink tints as well. Martha said she's done dyeing, but it's quite complicated and different products you need for the wools. But not sure. I don't think she would have. No, I know she won't have ever tried ink tints on it, because it's only recently that I gifted her a little early birthday present of some ink tints, because I knew that she hadn't got any for herself, and I just thought, yep, she will enjoy them. So I could have popped up anywhere, but I thought I'll pop up round here, come round past the flower. So I could use a different stitch, like do a chain or something, but I think, I don't know, maybe I'll do a back stitch, because that way if I want to whip it, I've got that option. I'm wondering, what will I do? Or will I just, no, I think I'll do a split again, because I do like the way that looks. I've got way too long of a length. I've just broken all my rules, so I'm just going to cut my wool down, because I got way too exuberant and took way too big of a length. And what have I just done with my needle? Someone, oh, there we go, my needle just fell down. I was about to say someone will be telling me where my needle is over the video, which I won't be able to hear, but no, it fell off, which is good. Now I'm skewering the wool in a most unimpressive way. I think the heating is making such a gushing sound above me, because I actually have the vent mostly closed, and so I think that's making it a little bit extra gushy, if that makes sense. We'll get there eventually. You'll get to see some stitching again when I actually manage to not be clumsy in my threading of the needle. Hopefully I haven't skewered. I'm just making sure I haven't skewered the wool in a way that I shouldn't, but I think we're okay. I was worried as well that you might be able to see the line through this paler coloured wool, but nope, it is good to go. And yeah, I can always come either side of it, or whip it, or do something with it if I want to add some extra colour to it. I'm just doing slightly longer split stitches here, just just to experiment. Ah, good, the heating has gone off. I think Alex might even be heading off to bed. He does tend to go to bed earlier. He gets up for the early morning Travis wake-up call, and I sleep away. I'm naturally a night owl for a while. When I was swimming in the mornings, I managed to turn myself into a morning bird, but early bird. But no, naturally a night owl if left to my own devices. I'm sure if I didn't have to get up for work in the morning, I'm sure Alex would probably still sometimes find me working away in my craft room, at least when he sometimes gets up in the middle of the night to take Travis out. He jokes that Travis wants to look at the stars or something. I think Travis just wakes up when Alex wakes up himself, and then decides that I'll get up with Dad and take him out for a bit of fresh air. Probably another little bit of leaf I need to do down here. I wasn't sure whether that was petal or something, but I think looking at it, it's leaf, but that's okay. We can pick it up when we do this bit of leaf. Probably not in this video, but I will continue working on this piece. I'll have to decide. I think I'll do all the flowers in the same. I think I should definitely have enough wool, I think, to do this whole piece. So yeah. We'll just get ourselves around. And I reckon that must be a leaf down there as well, or a stem maybe. It's actually quite delicate having the outer design in the off-white. I quite like it. But it's got enough variation from the base, but also because it's raised off the surface. You can definitely see it. It's not like it's melding in. Sometimes it's hard to find with the outline stitch to find where you need to bring your needle up in the middle of the previous stitch. Could probably only get one more stitch in, I think. And then we can tie that off. That's pretty good. I've only got those little scraps. I've got another whole length of the red, which I can use after, another whole length of the white, so I'll hang those up on my post. And there you go. That is our beautiful bonjour piece with the wools. And they are our, the lovely wools that we've been using. So, really going to look forward to using them. I love that they've got just that little bit of, definitely variegation in colour, but even variation just in width, which I think just adds to the natural effect. And even you can see around there that lighter red through to the darker red. Probably a slightly bit less pronounced variegation in the red than the green, but I just love that. It's going to be an absolute pleasure to stitch with, and thank you so much, Teresa and Chris. I hope you've had a really fantastic trade show, and I'll be sure to tag you in this video, but I would very happily, and I will be very happily stitching with these, and I'll be checking them out. Because this is just a product that they're just in the sort of development stages of, I'm not sure when they'll have it available, but definitely check out YouTube, EWE Tube. Let me just see if I can even just show you them on the YouTube. Just getting YouTube to come up. They're in my favourite subscriptions. Got lots of subscriptions. I follow lots of folks. There we go, YouTube. So YouTube, let's go view channel, subscribed. So EWE Tube, all one words. And that's, yeah, the lovely, and they're just, as I say, they're just so much fun. And you can see their sheep. You can see their felted things. Look at those beautiful. I haven't even, oops.
Hey, we're Chris and
Teresa. Better not play their bit. Oh, look at that. So yeah, lots of good things. I've only, ever since I got my felting tools, that's when I found them, but I've got to work back through their backwards episodes, I think, and just, learn all about what they have been doing. Nome Schoolhouse. So yeah, lots to discover there. And thanks so much for watching, and hope you're having a lovely stitching time. And yeah, just a great opportunity to think about who are your local producers, who can you support, who can you trial products from. Thanks everyone. Bye.